Hey everyone, sorry it took so long for me to post. This is a video that I've wanted to do for a long time. There was an online discussion that I took part in where the question was, the player was having difficulty in playing notes in between eighth note pattern on the hi-hat. So basically this would be what we refer to as the E's and the U's. So everyone kept saying, you need to do it slowly, you need to do it slowly. And it's true, you do need to do that slowly and then build up from there. But the one thing that I believe most people missed was you need to break down into the smallest segment the part that's giving the player the most difficult time. So this video is dedicated to how to fit those 16th notes in between the 8th notes on the E's and U's. And I do it slowly and I break down into the small segments so that everyone can see exactly the parts that need to be practiced over and over and over. Although in this video, I do a shorter version of that practice, you know, maybe 4 to 8 times through, where when I was actually working on it, I was doing 100 at least, you know, just to make sure, and then building up the speed from there. I think you'll get the idea, and hopefully you'll enjoy this video. It is definitely for beginner drummers, those who have been playing drums for a little while, but are having difficulty fitting those bass drum notes in the awkward places of the E's and the U's. The first pattern that I'll play has the bass drum coming in on the E of 2, right after the snare and hi-hat play together. So you'll hear snare and hi-hat together, bass drum, and then hi-hat by itself. This will also be the little segment that I will show a demonstration of. That's the part that you should practice over and over and over if you're having trouble with that, and then go and stick it within the pattern, the full pattern. Now I'll play just the second beat, to E and. I'll do it first at a slower tempo, then a little bit quicker tempo, and then I'll play the whole pattern again at a faster tempo. The next pattern has the bass drum being played on the of 1 just before the snare comes in on beat 2. Once again, it fits in between all of the 8th notes in the pattern. Now I'll demonstrate the segment there and 2. So it's hi-hat alone, bass drum alone, and then snare and hi-hat together. Now I'll play the segment faster, and I'll follow that by playing the entire full pattern faster. This next pattern has the bass drum coming in on the again, but this time it's the of beat 2. Then it leads into another bass drum on the downbeat 3. The hi-hat precedes it on the and of 2. So and 3 is the focus point for this next pattern. Now I'll play the short segment, hi-hat alone, bass drum alone, then hi-hat and bass drum together. This is the part that fits in at and 3. I'll do it slowly, then I'll do it quickly, and then I will play the entire pattern in full again at a faster tempo. The next pattern has both an and an E in it. So you'll hear the bass drum on the of 2 and then on the E of 3. Basically, this goes back and forth between the right hand and the right foot. Hi-hat, bass drum, hi-hat, bass drum, hi-hat again. And most of this stuff has to do with gaining that independence between the right hand and the right foot so that they're not constantly playing at the same time. Now I'll play the small segment and 3E and. hi-hat, bass drum, hi-hat, bass drum, hi-hat again. I'll do it slow first, then I'll do it fast, and then I will do the whole pattern at the faster tempo. Okay, so those are some examples of how to begin putting E's and U's in on the bass drum against an eighth note hi-hat pattern. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you learned something useful from it. Until next time, keep drumming.